Section 6.2, example 4, combining power series. So suppose that A sub n is a power series whose interval of convergence is from -1 to 1. And suppose that B sub n is a power series whose interval of convergence is between -2 and 2. So for part A, find the interval of convergence of the sequence A sub n plus B sub n. So looking at all of that, let's kind of switch this down here. All right, so looking at this, let's take a look at just a random interval. So we have the interval, will go from -3, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So looking at this, we're saying that these values are x values. And looking at that, convergence for A sub n goes from -1 to 1. So this is where A sub 1 converges. We know that for sure. And B sub n converges from -2 all the way up to 2. So if we were to look at these two values and we were to combine them, we would have to only look at the places where both of them are converging. So where both of them are converging is this interval right here. We cannot include these values here because A sub n does not converge at those points. I'm not going to say it necessarily diverges, but it just does not converge. So when we look at this power series here, so for the power series, we'll call that C sub n. The power series, the interval of convergence, so IOC, interval of convergence, would have to be where they both converge, and that would be from -1 up to 1. And that's it there, interval of convergence, x belonging to negative, or the values of -1 and 1. Let's take a look at B. So find the interval of convergence of the series. So this series is a little more fun. So looking as n goes from 0 to infinity, A sub n, 3 to the power n, x to the power n. All right, so if we know that A sub n converges from -1 to 1, we're going to see where this part converges. And looking at this, I feel like we could combine these two together. So we'll say that the sum as n goes from 0 to infinity of A sub n, we could rewrite this as 3x to the power n. And whatever those values are, they only converge from -1 to 1. So they go from -1 less than, in this case, 3x less than +1. To get x by itself, it would be 1/3 all the way to x, all the way to +1/3. So in this case, our interval of convergence goes from -1/3 all the way up to 1/3. So for all x values in that interval, and that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, bye.